I'm here today to spark a discussion around the power of the pulse. There are many examples of the power of the pulse, waves from the ocean rolling up on the beach that shape and change the landscape. Very powerful indeed. Or the original Rainbird water sprinkler. The pulsatile delivery allowed for better distribution of water than is possible from a continuous stream. Simply put, pulse matters. Another important feature of pulsatile power is what happens when there is no power. In rowing, it's called the recovery, and it's essential that the system reset and recover in order to properly prepare for the next power cycle. Now, if you consider the human heartbeat, each beat of the heart pulses blood around the body and deep within the organs. It holds true for all of us here today, and even the tiniest neonate. This pulsatile process repeats over and over again in order to bring oxygen and nutrient-rich blood around the body and to allow the body to properly relax and reset in between each stroke. Simply put, healthy babies have good heartbeats, and a strong pulse is a fundamental part of human life. I don't think I've shared anything too surprising with you yet today, until now. When our children have issues with their hearts and need our help to pump their blood through their body, we do it with continuous flow. There is no pulse. Why do we do it this way? The answer is simple and frustrating. Because 50 years ago, when heart surgery was developed, continuous flow pumps of that day proved to be easier to make and more reliable. And the industry grew up accepting that as good enough. But today, 1,500 children will have an external heart that's continuous flow and beyond that for multiple days. 40 to 60% of these children will not survive. In addition, 20,000 children will undergo the rigors of continuous flow pumping while having heart surgery, and 30 to 50% will suffer lingering problems in their kidneys, their brains, their lungs, and their guts. It's a downward spiral. The longer these children are on continuous flow, the worse they do. So what's going on here? Many of these issues are related to poor blood flow. And in fact, research has shown that with continuous flow, 30% of the smallest blood vessels fail to open. It's like a third of your body holding its breath while on continuous flow. These are pictures of before and after continuous flow. In the second picture, you can see that there are fewer capillaries that are opened. Now, I'm an engineer and not a doctor, but I see a real issue that needs a real solution. Pump manufacturers have attempted to respond with a simulated pulse, but not only does this risk additional damage to the blood, it fails to provide a true biomimetic pulse. Still, it seems to help. Fascinating clinical trial at Penn State showed that patients that even received the simulated pulse did better than those that had no pulse at all. Those that received it left the hospital in 7 days instead of the standard 12. But the missing piece of the simulated pulse is it fails to provide the complete relax and recovery portion of the human heartbeat. Only a true biomimetic pulse can complete this puzzle. The VentriFlo True Pulse Pumps are fundamentally different and truly recreate the human heart. How? By starting with a cyclic motor. Similar in concept to the speaker you're hearing me over today, but instead of pushing air to create sound waves, we gently squeeze the blood to make a pulse. Utilizing this approach, we can recreate the human heartbeat. Not only will this improve microcirculation, but it should improve patient outcomes, shorten length of stay, and save hospitals money. So, for your child, what would you want? Continuous flow or the power of the pulse? VentriFlo True Pulse Pumps. Blood flow the way it should be. Thank you.